Hello, my true crime lovelies. Hello again. Same place, different time. Um, I hope you are well. I hope you are as lovely in life as you are in my mind. I've got a little bit of I don't want to say an entanglement. I have my hands full, so I'm going to unburden myself. And hopefully you guys can help me because I've gone down this Delepine rabbit hole and something seems off. But I'm not sure what. So I was like, let me ask the eagle-eyed lovelies if they see what I see. So it all started from I made a comment about the Delepines in this morning's member video, and LWLW was like, "Have you looked at a Who's Is?" And I hadn't for their website, right? It's a place like if you're looking for a domain name primarily and you want to see who owns it. And so I started there. And then I noticed, well, one, that let me just show you. I'm going to show, let's thank the members first. I'm going to show a lot of pages. So if a lot of like moving backgrounds is going to bother you, this is not the video for you. I did as best I could to put it in like a Google document. It's like Google's version of PowerPoint or Keynote. And so in the beginning, it shouldn't be too flashy, but I can't make any promises. Let's thank the members and then we'll dig into this because I am perplexed and I am not often perplexed. I'll see you on the other side. Here comes the intro. Okay, here we go. So Delepine Creative, where did I start down this rabbit hole? Simple whose is because we're getting the sense, we the collective lovelies, that maybe Peter was a catfish. He was denied access to see Sarah. It said there was like a fraudulent issue. He's now, as you saw in the last video, approved to see Sarah. So maybe that's moot. But so I started with the Who's Is database. I put in Delepine Creative and it's taken, obviously, but there's an error. And I did this like over 8 hours today and I kept getting an error. This is what it should look like. So this domain is mine, simply Tanika.com. There's no website there. Don't go and look. I took it down a little bit ago. But it's like, and I have it marked private. So it just says registration private, right? You know, because I'm telling you. So that is what I expected to see. I did not. So then I was like, well, let me go to the Wayback Machine. I don't know how I got, now that I say that, how I got from there to the Wayback Machine, but I did. So just go with me. And you'll see here the site menu has services, clients, news, about us, and contact. But if we go to their actual live website, I'm going to flash. The only thing that's up is home and contact, right? So here's home with this chicken on here in the Delepine Creative. As purpose meets passion, we empower nonprofits through imagination and action. And then it has in the news, which doesn't link anything about the team at Delepine Creative. These are articles written by other people. So this comes from Forbes magazine. They are linking out to that. This also comes from Forbes. Wayne Elsey wrote this. This came from Harvard Business Review. How your company's social purpose can also drive profit. What you need to know about cause branding from Brand Extract. And that is it. And then you can contact them. There's no longer email addresses for anyone on here. There's no longer names of the team. So before it had Julian Delepine, it had Peter Gunthal, and there was a woman whose name I can't remember. But the Wayback Machine is going to help us with that. So we'll go back to the Wayback Machine. And even though on their live site it only has those two links on the sitemap, they did not disable the rest of it. What they did is they took it so the site, it's not linked like visibly to us, but the actual URL is still live. So I was able to go in and copy and paste these, right? So it has authentic, innovative, diligent. And then here you have their names. Peter and Julian's entrepreneurial journey began when they were just kids, starting a roadside stand, huddling surplus vegetables for local farmers. Life took them on their own paths to marriage, children, and notable careers. Um, so and then it talks about Peter sought out Julian's aid for his family's nonprofit organization. So that was the thing too. Someone said, I can't remember your name, and you may not want me to say it on here, that you couldn't connect Peter to the sanctuary. So I think that also sparked the conversation. We're just trying to figure out who these people are, especially because they're giving Sarah money. They're offering to pay for legal counsel for her family law case to help take money out of Brian's household so that she can get child support while doing life in prison. So we're curious, right? Is this like what you're all about? So, Delepine Creative emerged from a collective vision, a beacon of purpose, compassion, and unwavering commitment, fueled by a genuine desire to effect positive change and forge through meaningful partnerships. Okay. So that's there. That was on the site. And then it has the detail. This is also, it's live on their site, but it's not visible unless you have the URL, right? So it's not, you can't click on it from the sitemap. So our people, your team, Julie and Delepine. By the way, I could not find a picture of either of them on the internet, not just for this, but I was looking for a thumbnail previously. Nowhere on there. And I had found the one gray-haired man and put him in a thumbnail, and Lana was like, yeah, that's not him. So also, if you're running a company, why are you hidden, right? And especially you're like soliciting other people's money to help nonprofits, etc. I haven't looked up Amanda. I'm going to leave her out of it. But so you have Julian here, his background, Peter, his background. He went to NYU. He has his undergrad and his MBA from NYU. Then we have their partnerships that they've worked with. So we've got Restaurant Depot, The Boat Wash, Save the Sound, Blue Barn Rescue, Kiwit, Koki, Lulu's Natural Soda, Owlstone Clayworks, Timothy House. So those are all now hidden, but they're on the live website. So they've got, and here I took a picture of a URL so you could see it. So delepinecreative.com/services. If you type that in, this is what will return, even though you see here, it doesn't have it as an option in the site map. It just has, well, it's not even a site map. They don't have it at the bottom. You know how you normally see a site map. There's no link is what my point is. So they talk about building bridges and how we are a nonprofit advocacy company that provides brand strategy, creates alliances and partnerships, delivers grant research and writing, coordinates special events. So what does this have to do with Sarah and a documentary about an alleged, now known to not be, domestic violence victim? I can't even say it. What is this? Or documentaries? There's nothing on there on the old side or on the previously viewable side, however you want to say it. You know what I'm saying about helping domestic violence victims. But they do have something on here about YouTube. So they talk about partnerships, they talk about branding, special projects, grants, team sourcing, YouTube. And if they're paying for her legal counsel, that's my other question. Where are they getting the money? Are people giving it to them under the guise of helping advocate for other nonprofits? Because it's not clear, but when you go to the, actually, before I go to YouTube, let's go. I want to show you guys this. Some of the people that they've worked with. So this is Save the Sound. It's our vision is of a Connecticut and New York where the vitality of nature will be will be protected for people and wildlife now and for many decades to come. Something I am passionate about, but would I be donating money to someone who's affiliated with them, knowing they're funding a murderer request child support, like someone who's serving life without the possibility of parole? Would I want to fund that person's legal? I don't even know if it's a defense because she's a petitioner. It's a civil case, but I'm just like, somebody explain it to me. Where are they getting the money? Are they getting it? So this is for the Long Island Sound. This one is Blue Barn Rescue. I showed this to Sugar Bear. He was very excited about these horses. It is only with your generosity and love that we are able to provide animals with the equipment, medicine, and treatment needed to save their lives. 100% of all donations are used directly on the animals: food, medicine, veterinary care, and shelter. So that I would feel better about giving my money to, because it's saying 100%. Look at the little rabbit. 100% of that money is going. So I'm thinking, like, maybe, maybe you guys have volunteered for different organizations and there's overhead. There are some organizations that I won't donate to because there's a lot of overhead, like the bigger, more corporate ones that corporations like to donate to, but they're, you know, paying for a lot of swag, paying for a marketing team. I mean, listen, do what you got to do. But like these organizations, this type, where all of their donations go to the intended nonprofit, something I can get behind, right? And of course, you get a lovely tax write off, 501c3. They've got it here, they've got their EIN number. Very legit, very legit. Do they know that this team is helping to fund Sarah and her legal defense? We don't know. But let's look at this YouTube now. Delepine Creative Partners nonprofits with synergistic niche content creators on YouTube to enhance brands and group constituency and grow constituency. While we handle all logistics, both nonprofit and content creator focus on making great content, spreading the message, and fulfilling the mission. So here now we're getting into content, and I'm going to show you the messages where they are trying to get Sarah to sign a contract. They want her to sign the contract first. That is the carrot. Well, no, the legal defense is the carrot to sign the contract. They want her to sign the contract, then they're promising they will fund a family law attorney for her. So we have that. Here's what from the messages. This is from 8/26/2024, incoming from Julian Delepine to Sarah. 8/26/24 family law update. It's signed by Peter and Julian. Eventually the conversations start coming just from Peter. Julian kind of pissed her off. I think it's in like my second to last text messages from Sarah. But he was like, do this, do that, we'll do this. And she was like, I don't need these links. What I need is a lawyer. And so this is what they came back with after she bit their head off. Because I would have told her to kick rocks. Don't talk to me like that, man. I'm trying to help you. Dear Sarah, we hear you loud and clear. You need a family law attorney, and we are going to find you one. Immediately after receiving your email, we began searching. Some responded, some did not. They said we have some very promising leads and are aiming to secure an attorney for you as soon as possible. While I am hoping to find a family law attorney to represent you pro bono, Delepine Creative is prepared to pay for this expense. I'm going to say it again. I underlined it for y'all. Delepine Creative is prepared to pay for this expense. Why? Why would they do that? In order to do this, we need to get the documentary project going. Once we have a project in motion, Delepine Creative can secure financing and have the resources needed. So is that financing for the documentary or is that financing for her legal team? That's a question. You guys let me know what you think, please. That's a sincere question. We are sending the agreement for your review and signature. If this is agreeable to you, please keep one copy for your records and send a signed copy back to me. Lana has informed us that you are speaking with the potential criminal defense attorney. That's James Owens. That is fantastic. We are in constant communication with Lana and are waiting to hear the status. If you decide you do not want to proceed with that attorney, we can start looking for other criminal defense attorneys. I have already reached out to my network to ask for recommendations. Then he quotes scripture. He does it the opposite. He cites the book and verse first and then says it. Um anyway, I'm not going to read it. All the best, Sarah, Peter and Julian. And then this other one was too long for me to include. So I'm going to share you the actual page. Um, this is on the 28th of August, incoming from Julian Delepine. It's a long one. Let me just read it. Update. Hi, Sarah. We just had a great call with Lana, and I wanted to share an update with you. She's amazing, and we're excited about the progress we're making. Here's where things stand. Family law case. We've reached out to 8 law firms specializing in family law to potentially handle your case. 2 firms have declined, 3 are pending, and 3 have had initial discussions with us. They are currently reviewing your case, and I have calls scheduled with them this week to discuss the next steps. I'm particularly excited about the O'Mara Law Group, led by Mark O'Mara. And he includes the website. I did a video on this. This guy went on Court TV and said Sarah's problems were due to Sarah. And he calls Patricia Cashman Trish. He said if she wants out, it's a bad situation. It has nothing to do with Trish. If Trish wants out, I've included more information about him from his website at the end of this message. So he's a criminal. He's certified criminal. He represented George Zimmerman, and he's also certified family law. But based on what he said on television or on YouTube, he didn't want anything to do with Sarah. But they've reached out to him, and he's excited. And remember, they're going to be paying for him. He's a high profile dude. George Zimmerman comes with, think of it like Casey Anthony and Jose Baez. So then, criminal case. Lana mentioned that you've secured James Owens for your criminal defense. That's fantastic news. Great job. Film commitment. Lana also passed along your question about the time commitment for the documentary. First and foremost, we want to conduct as many interviews with you as you're comfortable with. It's important to cover not just the case, but also your life story. The media has painted an unfair picture of you, and we want to help humanize you by sharing your story. I'll be speaking with Mark at Prototype to determine how many interviews he has in mind. We'd also love to interview friends, family, neighbors, or anyone else who can speak to your character. Good luck. Lana is a great example of this, even though she's only known you about 10 months at this, not even 10 months yet. At this point, 9 months. Make a baby, make a friend, a character witness, no less. Lana is a great example. We will eventually look to you to provide us a list of people you think would be willing to participate or provide archival photos and video. We mailed the documentary film agreement to you yesterday. It includes 2 copies, one for your records and one for you to sign in return. Lana suggested an alternate address as she wasn't sure the first one was correct. We'll send another set of copies to the new address today. So they must have talked to Lana after they already sent it. Visit. We discussed arranging a day for the 3 of us to come to Florida. So Peter, Julian, and Lana. For those of you guys who followed the text message, Sarah did not like this. We speculated she was jealous, and then she undid it. But she, as my mom would say, threw the rock, hid the hand. And then she just was like, she didn't want Lana to come, but instead she just said it would be difficult for her. And then she told Lana, they didn't mention anything about you coming. You might want to double check that. Anyway, keeping your chin up. They go into this. They're talking about his JD from Florida University. Another scripture. Then Lana talks about the 45-minute meeting that she had with him and how it went, needing the pictures. There. Then there's a bit about having the YouTubers raise money for a cause. I can't remember if it's a cause of their choosing or not. And actually, let's do this. Please hold. Okay, I couldn't find the exact wording, but basically they were promising YouTubers exclusive access to Sarah, but first the YouTubers had to reach a dollar amount in donations. And I can't remember the specifics of how the 501c3 was chosen, but they had to receive X amount and then they would get exclusive access to Sarah, as in pre-recorded footage that they could then show on their YouTube channel for monetization, right? So it was always sus of like, so the what was in it for the YouTubers, like the monetization, like they would get so much money from having Sarah on there, they were just handing over the money. Would they be able to monetize the video where they were asking for the funds? It was all very convoluted, but it kind of went by the wayside when Owens came on the scene. So what is in it for specifically? I mean, we'll say Julian and Peter, but Peter was more interactive with her if you go back and look at my videos on the text messages. And if you're like, well, that was then and maybe they're not still. So I have her call logs and she was in contact. Oh, let me show you guys with the both of them in January of, let me make myself smaller, in January of this year, right? So you've got, whoops, a blank screen. Good Lord. Here we go. January 2nd, back to back between, well, she talked to Peter for 7 minutes, but they're in touch then. And then we also have, as of, oh shoot, did I close it? If you saw the previous video that sent you over here, as of June 9th, she's still in communication with. She talked to Peter June 9th, 11:14 a.m. for 29 minutes. They're still in touch. Julian is not on this report, but look at all of these. She's calling him. She doesn't always connect, but there's enough connection to show that they're still in contact. These are all blanks. And he signed her court paperwork as the contact that the lawyer can't contact because she's not represented. Here's Peter on the 1st of June, 29 minutes. 7 minutes on the 31st of May. She's still calling him regularly. So they're in contact. It's not like he's told her to bug her off, right? On the 28th, they've talked for 30 minutes. On the 28th, they've also talked for 25 minutes. So what is happening? What do you guys think? It is, it's interesting if nothing else, but they're still helping her. It looks like they weren't able to get funding for the lawyer, but it also, she didn't do anything with any of the YouTubers, whatever that was. And do they still believe that she's a DV victim, right? Because originally, my shoulder's missing again. They were talking about, I get so distracted. They were talking about her struggles. Like they wanted to tell the real story of the real Sarah Boone and how the judicial system wasn't favorable to her. There was even recent talk before Lana passed where Peter sent her a note like, no matter what anybody thinks of her, they're not making it easy for her. They're making it shouldn't be this difficult or whatever. So she murdered someone. Like she shouldn't get child support. What are you talking about? She shouldn't get alimony. She shouldn't be parenting, in my opinion. But why is he spending? What's in it for him? That's what I want to know. What's in it for him? Why is he spending time, effort, reputation right? Because you're spending reputational capital or equity, whichever way you want to frame it. Why? Why on Sarah Boone? You guys sound off. Let's talk in the chat, in the comments, because I want to know. I want to know, no. What do you think? I'll talk to you guys there. Toodles.